So, Marie, here today, better we try to focus how to simplify the circuits. Okay. Even there also, if you go through a bit deep into the circuits, we require how to simplify the circuit using the Kirchhoff's laws and the Wheatstone bridge. Remember? In the same way here also, actually, even here also we require the Kirchhoff's laws for electrical circuits with resistors and the Wheatstone bridge. So first I am going to hear the Kirchhoff's laws. Okay. Kirchhoff's laws there, what we said, Nana, at a junction, the charge is neither created nor destroyed. It is conserved. Total charge connected to a junction equals to 0. Am I right? Yes. That is actually law of charge. There what we call. Here law of currents, what we say. First one. This is actually called as junction law, usually in books. Okay, what is this law of currents or junction law? Okay, if you come to here, what he says at a junction, in the same way, at a junction, the algebraic sum of currents reaching at a junction. So algebraic sum of currents is equal to C. And like in a circuit, suppose if you take here, this is a junction, and at the junction, okay. And how to increase the size here? How? No. I'm going to draw a line. Yes. One. Right. We form final. Okay. Right. This is one line taken here, and this is another line taken from there. Oh, this is not much cooperative code. Right. This is another line taken here. Okay. And this is a third line taken here at a junction. And this is a fourth line taken here. Okay. This is a fourth line taken here. These are the currents, Nana. Here, what I am taking, like it is the current I1, it is the current I2, and here, mm, oh, yes, this is current I3, and this is the current I4, and it is the junction. What we have taken. Okay. In this junction, observe, Nana, I1, I2, and I4, they are the currents leaving the junction. Whereas look at I3. Yes, Srinivitya, exactly. Okay. The same thing I am going to say here at a junction. The algebraic sum of currents means take like one convention, leaving the junction, you take them as leaving, so negative. Entering means adding, so you take entering currents. Okay, the currents coming towards the junction, take them as positive. Leaving the junction, take them as negative. Yes. Same thing here, we are trying to write. Like leaving the junction, so minus I1, minus I2, entering the junction, so plus I3, leaving the junction, minus I4. This is algebraic sum that equals to 0. The same thing you are posting there. Okay, like what? I3 is positive, remaining 3 are negative. So I3, by taking the remaining terms to the other hand, I1 plus I2 plus I3. Okay. So here convention, what I followed, leaving the junction, I took it as positive. Entering the junction, sorry, leaving the junction, I took it as negative, I think. Yes, I took it as negative. And entering the junction, I took it as positive. This is my sign convention. That is your wish. Okay, if you may take entering as negative, leaving as positive while writing the algebraic sum, whatever, it is the same. Okay. Finally, it looks like what, Nana? Algebraic sum of currents leaving the junction is equal to the algebraic sum of currents entering the junction. This is what you said. Okay. Leaving the junction, these three. So algebraic sum is equals to entering the junction. Sigma of that. Okay, what you have said. This is very easy. Why? Because already we discussed it there. Where in capacitor span. Okay. So here, right. So it is easy only for us. So here I write what that implies. Mari, it obeys which law? If you see, entering or leaving, who are entering, who are leaving? Current. Current means what? Charge only. Charge entering per second is equals to charge leaving per second. So shall I say it obeys the law of conservation of charge? Law of conservation of charge. Yes, law of conservation of charge. Okay. This is a simple law. I think all of you understood. about this junction law. Okay. The second one, like how what we applied there. Okay. What the second law? Mesh law or loop law. Or there we measure the voltages. Very good, very good. Or we measure the PDs across the capacitors. Here we have to measure the PDs across resistors. Okay, loop law or voltages law. But I think you remember there, the loop must be closed. It is applicable for closed loops. Okay, so first what we write in a closed loop. In a closed loop, what we write, Nana? The algebraic sum of PDs, better with that algebraic sum, not ordinary sum, including the sign conventions, the algebraic sum of PDs, and if cells are there, we call the PD across the cell as EMF now. So the same PD across the cell, EMF, electromotive force. Okay, so algebraic sum of PDs and EMFs. PDs across whom, that we forgot writing here. PDs across resistors. And EMFs across cells is 0. Okay, this one already you know where the in that chapter. So for that, what we are going to write here in the same way. Okay, in the same way here, we are going to write what that implies. To apply this loop. Okay, just I am considering, observe here. I am taking a loop like this. This is a loop. Okay. In this loop, I am taking closed loop, the resistors and cells like this. Okay. Here, this is one resistor I am taking. And here I am taking one cell. And here I am taking another resistor. And here I am taking one more line. Okay. And here I am taking one more resistor. And here I am taking a cell. Here one more resistor. And giving the name like A, B, C, D, E, and F. Okay. Now, what are the resistance values here? Let them be like here, this is R1. This is like some R5. Okay, right, I write here R2. This is R3. This is R4. Okay, in order. And here the PDs across the cells, we call them as EMFs. So EMFs, I am taking them as here E2 and here the EMF as E1. Okay, Nami? Now for this loop, okay, in the given loop, for this loop, here I am writing in the given loop, which loop you observe there, Nana? You are finding out actually three loops, two small loops. Okay, adding the two loops, one big loop. Okay, so out of the three loops, I am selecting two loops to apply the Kirchhoff's second law, algebraic sum of PDs. Okay, first I am taking here the big loop, which one? A, B, C, D, E, F, A. C, D, E, F, and A. Okay, the big loop I am seeing. Generally, you have to assume the direction of flow of current in a loop. So, direction of flow of current generally you take from positive terminal. Okay, from any one cell, you start assuming the current. Sorry, I am starting to assume here from E1 and this is the first cell. Current, let it be I1 from this or I simply. Okay, that current, look at here, without splitting, it comes to the junction. Here, what happens, all of you know. At the junction, current should be divided. That's what we discussed in the junction law. So, divided like, suppose this is I1 and this is I2. Okay, that I2 passes through R2, R3, and even through the cell also. Okay, means this is my assumption. Means that current flows even through the cell, and that I2 joins with the I1 here at this junction. Means I2 plus I1. Okay, sum of currents entering the junction is equal to the sum of currents leaving only one current. That is already we assumed it as I here in this part. So it is. So according to junction law, we can write I equals to I1 plus I2 at any junction. At what junction? Either at A or at A or at E. Okay, we can write I equals to I1 plus I2. This is a simple law. Junction law is always simple. Entering is equals to leaving. That's all over. Okay, but loop law we have to take care. Okay, in the loop law, here first you write same type nana like in capacitors. First writing the potential differences across the capacitors and the potential differences across the cells. In the same way here, first potential differences across the resistors and then across the cell. Okay, so first coming to here, A to B, nothing is there, nana. Okay, next B to C, there is one resistor. Sorry, B to A B C together. A B to C, there is one resistor R2. Across the resistor, how you calculate the potential difference? By using Ohm's law, kadanana. So using the Ohm's law, I into R we write. Here current we assume it as I2 through this branch. So I2 into R2. Later we put the sign convention. And the same current passes through R3. So here the potential difference across the third resistor is I2 into R3. Potential difference. And then it is the time to measure the potential difference across the cell. Okay, this one already I said in the capacitors. Anyone remember, Nana? Is it positive or negative? Who said this is Srinidhi Priya? Negative. Yes, exactly. Why? Because I selected the loop like this. A, B, C, D, E, F, A. So while going like this, you are moving from higher potential positive to lower potential negative. higher to lower, loss of potential. Loss of potential minus. Yes, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Loss of potential minus E2. Okay. So DE part over. EF, nothing is there. F to A. Yeah, check here. The current flowing first across the resistor. Current is I, resistance is R1. So I R1, I write here. Potential difference using the Ohm's law. And then here, Nana, across the cell, you are moving from negative to positive. And you are measuring from lower potential to higher. Very good, very good. Okay, lower to potential, higher. Lower to higher is plus, positive. Yes, exactly, Anirudh. Plus E2. And we reached A. Started from A and finally reached A. A to A, algebraic sum equals to 0. Okay, now we have to put the sign conventions for the PDs across the resistors, like I2, R2, I2, R2. Okay. Generally, what you know, Nana, current flows from higher potential to lower or lower to higher? Current flows from higher potential to lower potential. And here, when you are measuring B2C, B2C current is flowing in this direction only, upward. Current is flowing upward and B is at higher potential, C is at lower potential. B is at higher, C is at lower, and you are measuring from higher to lower. Higher to lower is loss or gain? Higher to lower, loss, so minus. Okay. Sir, every time seeing like higher to lower, ila kaadu sir, better you say some other convention to remember. Okay, like a shortcut to remember. Simple. In a loop, according to your direction of measuring, if you are measuring in the direction of current flow, take it as negative, Nana. If you measure the potential difference in opposite direction to the current flow, take it as positive. Okay, once again, I am repeating. In the direction of current flow, if you measure the PD, take it as negative. In the direction of current flow, ante higher potential to lower potential, loss of potential. Okay, so in the direction of current flow, take it as negative. Okay, so sign convention I am writing here, positive. Measuring PD in opposite direction to current flow. In opposite direction to the current flow. Okay, అదే నెగటివ్ అయితేనా same direction. Okay, so negative here I write measuring PD in the same direction of current flow. Current flow. In the direction of current flow. Okay, Nana? So remember these two sign conventions, Nana, here, and you can now give 1, 2 sign conventions. Okay, now I think you can say IR1, Nana. I into R1, is it positive or negative? Negative. Very good. Even right, good. Even at E2 already we wrote. Okay, so directly you can write. Suppose if you want to write separately the EMFs and currents, that is PDs, then you can write the same equation, like keeping few things on left hand side and few other things on right hand side. E, oi, both I write E2 ra. What is this? Actually E1 kada. Arre. Then this is E1. So this is what E1 positive, E1 minus E2. I'm going to write, keeping the PDs to the other hand. All PDs are negative. So taken to the other hand, IR1 plus I2R2 plus I2R. And then that's all. Okay. Same thing now. You try in which loop? Next one, if you see here, in the loop of this time. In the loop, once you observe there, which loop I am selecting here? BC, DEB, this loop now. Okay, B, C, D, E, B, that's all. If you are able to catch, then happily we can try to apply this Kirchhoff's laws in numericals. Okay, B to C. Is it negative or positive? I2 R2. It is negative Kadanana in the direction of current flow? Yes, minus I2 R2. And it is also in the direction of current flow, minus I2 R3. Oh, good. My Srival, yeah. D2E, very good, Nana. Minus E2. But I think the last one is positive. Oh, good. You put the last one positive only. Correct. Yes, yes, yes. So E to B, you are measuring in opposite direction to the current. You are measuring in opposite direction means positive. Plus I1 R4. That equals to C. And then another solve. And I1 R4 minus I2 R2 minus I2 R3 finally is equal to E. That's all. Likewise, we write and we try to simplify the equations. Okay, these are the Kirchhoff's laws. Kirchhoff's laws ante there are here. We are measuring the PDs kadana. Measuring the PDs and what I said, it obeys law of conservation of. Anyone remember? It obeys law of conservation of. Ayyo, machpayara. Potential is work done per unit charge karna. Work done ante energy kada. So it obeys law of conservation of energy. Okay. Bane marchipoyaru. Very good. Kirchhoff's laws in here and Kirchhoff's first law, that is junction law, means algebraic sum, that is sum of currents entering is equals to sum of currents leaving, and mesh law, algebraic sum of PDs and EMFs. Okay, in a closed loop equals to 0. These two laws we are going to apply now. Okay, enana follow yara Kirchhoff's first law and second law, junction law and mesh law. Okay, ఆన్లైన్ కదా అర్థం కావట్లేదు, మీ ఫేసెస్ చూడలేకపోతున్నాను కదా. సో ఐఎమ్ అన్ఏబుల్ టు క్యాచ్ వెదర్ యూ అండర్స్టూడ్ ఆర్ నాట్. ఫాలోడ్. ఓకే, ఏం డౌట్ ఏం లేదు కదా నాన్న? వెరీ గుడ్. చరణ్జీత్ ఉన్నావరా, వెళ్ళిపోయావా? ఓ రైట్, అంటే రెస్పాండ్ కాకపోతే డౌట్ వచ్చింది. ఓహో! తింటూ వింటున్నావా? వెరీ గుడ్ రా! అట్లా ఉండాలిరా. టైమ్ సేవింగ్. వెరీ గుడ్. ఇక మనము వి హావ్ టు కమ్ టు హియర్. అప్లైయింగ్ దోస్ కిర్చాఫ్స్ లాస్. ఇప్పుడు యాక్చువల్లీ వి ఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు డిస్కస్ ద వీట్స్టోన్ బ్రిడ్జ్. ఓకే. And a Wheatstone bridge actually we discuss in this chapter, but a bit early we discussed it there in capacitors, a bit early. So this is Wheatstone bridge. Okay, Nana? Right. In the Wheatstone bridge, what we are going to discuss? And here we are going to first draw like this. Oh, super. That's a good boy. Right. Are able to draw the diagrams here using here what I am doing, connecting as usual a source here. This is one source of some EMF. E here. Okay, because of that current starts flowing here. That current is I. Naming this one as A, B, as usual, C and D. Okay, and we have to take one resistor here. ఏంది హట్ అవుతుంది? ఓయ్ అరే ఏందిరా ఇది? మాట వింటలేదు. నాన్సెన్స్. రైట్. ఇప్పుడు మనము ఇలా చేయాలన్నమాట. చేతితో డ్రా చేసుకోవాలి. ఓకే, ఐఎమ్ డ్రాయింగ్ ఏ లైన్ హియర్. ఇది స్ట్రైట్ అవ్వలేదు. ఐఎమ్ డ్రాయింగ్. Yes, very good. Then here, me telsinde we are going to take some resistors across, not across, at the sides. Here, 1, 2, 3, and 4. There we took capacitors. Here we are taking resistors like this. This is one resistor along with one galvanometer, and whether current is flowing through it or not to measure. Okay, this is like I am taking, say, some P. This is resistor Q. This is resistor R. This is S. This is some W. Okay, this is actually called as Wheatstone bridge, Nana, with 5 resistors. I think you remember. Gurtundi kada Nana? Wheatstone bridge ante we apply the principle for 5 capacitors there. Right. Good. There 5 capacitors. Here 5 resistors. Okay. Kotta Srivatsa unnadra? New Srivatsa? New person? No. Srivatsa Sirivallu is there. Oh, D3 was now. Okay, right. Good. Then coming to here, um, 5 resistors. As usual, Nana, we are starting here. The flow of currents in different branches, Nana. Once you check there. Here, when the current comes to the junction, what happens? All of you know. Current will be splitted like I1 and I2. So immediately we write the junction law. So according to the junction law, we write first. What you write, sir? According to junction law, Miren rastaru, Nina de rastaru. Yes, exactly. I equals to I1 plus I2. Currents entering is equals to the currents leaving the junction. And that's all. మీరు కూడా ఇదే రాయాలనుకుంటున్నారు కదా, సేమ్. ఓకే, నెక్స్ట్ ఫాలోడ్ బై, మరి హియర్ it is again reaching the junction C, Nana. This is at A, comma, next at C. That is also a junction. So again current should split. Okay, so assumption, like I am taking, this is some I5 and this is I3. I4 is అంటే ఇక్కడ తీసుకుందాం నా ఇంటెన్షన్ I4. Okay, I am taking I4. These two are entering kada at the junction D, and it comes out like I4. So at junction C, what we write, Nana? Currents entering the junction is equals to the currents leaving the junction. Entering is I1, leaving the junction there are two, I5 and I3. So I3 plus I5. Correct, Nana? This is at C. Okay. Yes, alage D junction Nana. At the junction D, we can write I2 is entering, I5 is entering, I4 is leaving. So shall I write I4 is equals to I2 plus I5? This is at D. Yes. And finally come to the junction B. Because it again coming back to the cell, Nana. Cell is giving current I kabatti. I current should again reach back to the cell. So it is I. So at junction D, entering I3 plus I4. These are the currents entering the junction. Leaving the junction is I. Sorry, it is at B, not at B. That is at B. Okay, good. First junction law we apply, Nana. Very easily we apply. Over. ఓకే, ఇక ఇందులో జాగ్రత్తగా అబ్జర్వ్ చేస్తే లింక్ టు I5 కి లింక్ అయినటువంటి ఈక్వేషన్స్ వీఆర్ ఫైండింగ్ అవుట్ రెండు కనపడుతున్నాయి నాకు. ఓకే, వాట్ ఆర్ ద టూ? నెంబర్ 1, I1 ఈక్వల్స్ టు I3 ప్లస్ I5, అండ్ హియర్ వన్ మోర్ here. One more here, I4 is equal to I2 plus I5. Okay, even Anna. Good. So here, I can incredible. Right. These two equations I am going to use. Okay. Where, sir? Next, you observe here. I am going to apply the loop law. So according to loop law, ఏ లూప్స్ అప్లై చేస్తున్నారు సార్? ఓకే, వన్స్ యూ చెక్ హియర్ విచ్ లూప్స్ అంటే, ఫస్ట్ దిస్ స్మాల్ ట్రయాంగులర్ లూప్, నాన్న, దట్ ఈస్ ABCDA. Sorry, ABDA. According to the loop law, in ABDA. Okay, మీరు ఈ పాటికి రాసేస్తుంటారు నాకు తెలుసు. రైట్. ఓ సారీ, ఇది సీనా? అది బ్రిడ్జి కదరా, వెరీ గుడ్ రా శ్రీనిధి అని ఇలాంటి వాళ్ళు ఉండాలి క్లాస్ ఒకళ్ళు. ఓకే, వెరీ గుడ్. ACDA, రైట్. Coming to here, ACDA in this loop. జాగ్రత్త చూడండి అన్న, కంప్లీట్ చేసి ఉంటారు మీరు. దిస్ ఇస్ వాట్ -I1T, లేదు అబ్జర్వ్ చేయండి, ఈజ్ ఇట్ కరెక్ట్ ఆర్ రాంగ్? -I1T -I5 into W, and here opposite direction I am measuring, opposite direction, that is plus, yes, I2R. Only 3 resistors are there none in this loop, so algebraic sum equals to 0. Mistake ఏమైనా ఉందా ఒకసారి చెక్ చేయండి నన్ను. Everything is correct or wrong? Any mistake is there? No mistake. Okay, very good, very good. Asha unnavara? Okay, then coming to next one, right? Idu oka loop na. And suppose if you want to write the positive values here, I write like I1P plus I5W is equals to I2R. Okay, all right, this is one equation. And now try to apply the loop law in which loop? The second triangle loop. And this is C kada, CBDC. ఓకే, నాకు తెలిసి మీరు ఆల్రెడీ కంప్లీట్ చేస్తుంటారు. C to B, that is -I3Q. This is measuring in opposite direction, so plus I4S. And next D to C, again measuring in opposite direction of current flow. Opposite direction of current flow means plus I5 into W equals to 0. Okay, and this one also, if you want to write the positive values, I write like I3Q is equals to I4S plus I5W. Okay, these are 2 more equations now. వీటిని కూడా కొద్దిగా హైలైట్ చేద్దాం. Okay, this is one equation. మళ్ళీ ఇంకొకటి తీసుకుందాం. ఇక్కడ బాగుందా? సరే, సారీ. దీనిరా ఏదో వెళ్ళిపోయింది ఇక్కడ. Who is this? I3Q. రైట్, దాని నెంబర్ నాకే అర్థం కావట్లేదు, పాపం మీకేం అర్థం అవుతుందా? రైట్, దిస్ ఈజ్ I3Q. ఓకే, then coming to here, right. Next, come back to here. మనం దీంట్లో ఐడియా ఉందన్న బ్యాలెన్స్డ్ వీస్టోన్ బ్రిడ్జ్ వి డిస్కస్డ్ ప్రీవియస్లీ. ఓకే, బ్యాలెన్స్డ్ వీస్టోన్ బ్రిడ్జ్ అంటే ఏం చెప్పుకున్నామన్న? ఇన్ కేస్ ఆఫ్ కెపాసిటర్స్, నో చార్జ్ ఈజ్ స్టోర్డ్ ఇన్ ద 5th కెపాసిటర్, ఇన్ ద మిడిల్ కెపాసిటర్. అంటే వీఆర్ కీపింగ్ yes, లైక్ వెరీ గుడ్, వెరీ గుడ్, వెరీ గుడ్. C1/C2 అంటే ఇక్కడ అదే టైప్ లో వస్తుంది. అలా కావాలంటే కండిషన్ ఐఎమ్ ఆస్కింగ్. ఓకే, నో ఈక్వేషన్ ఇస్ కరెక్ట్, కండిషన్ ఐఎమ్ ఆస్కింగ్. హియర్ we found that the potential at C is equals to potential at D. Remember, in case of balanced Wheatstone bridge, you are saying final equation. That is correct, Nana. I accept. What all of you posted is correct. But condition VC equals to VD kada, then only the 5th capacitor does not get charged. Okay. So here same condition. If I take, if the potential at C is equals to potential at D, then delta V okay across the resistor W is equal to 0. Okay, and that implies the deflection in galvanometer equals to 0. Deflection in galvanometer is 0. Okay, that time what I said now in capacitors, నేనేం చెప్పాను మీకు, if no charge is stored on the fifth capacitor, we remove the fifth capacitor from the circuit అన్నాం కదా. In the same way, if no current flows through this resistor, it is a waste resistor, then immediately you can remove it from the circuit. Okay, if you remove it from circuit, it looks like me telisinde, these two are in series, those two are in series, and again they are in parallel, you know it. These two are in series and I1 should be equals to I3 kada nana, in series current should be same equation you will get here. I1 equals to I3 if I5 is equals to 0. I5 and who is I5? Current flowing through galvanometer. That already I said here. Galvanometer deflection is 0. And here what I am going to write? Galvanometer deflection is 0. That implies I5 is equals to 0. Okay. I5 suppose 0. Then we say that is the bridge is balanced. దీన్ని బ్యాలెన్స్డ్ వీస్టోన్ బ్రిడ్జ్ అంటాం నాన్న. ఓకే, ఇన్ కేస్ ఆఫ్ బ్యాలెన్స్డ్ వీస్టోన్ బ్రిడ్జ్ I1 equals to I3 first equation, I5 0 నాన్న. And here second equation కొద్దిగా అబ్జర్వ్ చేయండి, I4 equals to I2. Okay, I4 equals to I2, and then those two we are going to substitute in the remaining two equations. Okay, so that implies here I write I1 equals to I3 and I2 equals to I4. Then that implies we can write I5 0 kadanana in this loop like equation. I1P is equals to I2R, and here also I5 0 kadanana, here sorry I5 0 ante I3Q is equals to I4S. Okay, ఇక మీ ఈ రిలేషన్ మీకు వచ్చేస్తుంది నాన్న, డివైడింగ్ ద టూ ఈక్వేషన్స్ ఈ రెండు డివైడ్ చేస్తే దట్ ఇంప్లైస్ I1P divided by I3Q is equals to I2R divided by I4S. I1 equals to I3 మీకు అర్థమైన స్టోరీయే, I2 equals to I4, so these two are also get cancelled. You are getting your known equation in capacitors. Capacitors లో మీకు తెలిసిన ఈక్వేషన్ వచ్చేస్తుంది. That implies P by Q is equals to R by S. Okay, ఇది లేదా or above divided by bottom అంటే P by R is equals to Q by S. Both are correct. So here P by Q is equals to R by S, or P by R is equals to Q by S. P by Q equals to R by S లేదా ఇలా అయినా డివైడ్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. ఓకే, దిస్ ఈస్ బ్యాలెన్స్డ్ వీస్టోన్ బ్రిడ్జ్ అన్నమాట. ఓకే, ఇది మనం చెప్పాలనుకున్నాం in this chapter. Successfully we completed now the balanced Wheatstone bridge. Okay, I think నేను కూడా మిమ్మల్ని అడగట్లేదు whether you followed or not. Why? Because it is easy. Already we discussed in capacitors. Okay. That's why I'm not asking you all whether you followed or not. By accepting that you follow. Okay. Right. ఇక మనము here these type వీటిని మనం అప్లై చేయాలి when we come to the circuits. Okay. సరే అప్లై చేద్దాం, నో ప్రాబ్లం. బట్ హియర్ బిఫోర్ అప్లయింగ్ ఒక చిన్న కాన్సెప్ట్ కూడా కంప్లీట్ చేద్దాం. ఓకే, వాట్ ఈస్ దట్ సార్? ఈ అన్బ్యాలెన్స్డ్ వీస్టోన్ బ్రిడ్జ్, ఇది ఆల్రెడీ వి డిస్కస్డ్ దేర్ ఇన్ కెపాసిటర్స్. కొద్దిగా లెంగ్తీ ప్రొసీజర్, మరి వెదర్ యూ రిమెంబర్డ్ ఆర్ నాట్ ఐ డోంట్ నో. ఓకే, గుర్తుందో లేదో నాకు తెలియదు. Suppose here 5 resistors are taken. This is what we are going to discuss, unbalanced Wheatstone bridge. Wheatstone bridge and how many resistors should be there, Nana? At least 5. Gurtundi kada? Yes, good. 5 resistors are required. 6 to 7 extra, that is your wish. That means okay, but at least 5 are required. అది కూడా ఎలా ఉండాలి ఐడియా ఉంది కదా నాన్న? Between two diagonals we have to connect one resistor. Yes, exactly. Okay, here నేను సరే ఒక షేప్ తీసుకుంటాను. ఓకే, ఇంగ్లీష్ షేప్. సరే ఒక లైన్ కూడా మధ్యలో డ్రా చేసుకుంటాను. రైట్, ఇక్కడ ఐఎమ్ గోయింగ్ టు పుట్ ద రెసిస్టర్స్ 1, 2, 3 and 4 like PQRS. ఇక మీకు తెలిసిందే. Here one more resistor 5. Okay, and a cell I can connect here by connecting a cell. Okay, now this EMF is actually unnecessary in the questions, even though it is unbalanced. Then మనం పెద్దగా యూజ్ చేయం. This is A, it is B, this is C and D. Okay, కొద్దిగా రికలెక్ట్ చేసుకోవడానికి ట్రై చేయండి నాన్న. Here the resistors are like 4 ohms. This is 6 ohms. Okay, and this is 12 ohms, and this is 2 ohms, and it is 4 ohms. But is it balanced Wheatstone bridge, Anana? Once you check, is P by Q equals no, yes, exactly. P by Q is 4 by 6 and 2 by 3. R by S is 2 by 4. 2 by 4 and 1 by 2. So P by Q is not equal to R by S. And this is not a balanced Wheatstone bridge. Okay. Oh, Deepika kuda unda. Ammalo, Deepika ardhamavutundra talli? Able to follow? Right, good. అప్పుడప్పుడు కాస్త రెస్పాండ్ అవుతుంటారు తల్లి. నువ్వు ఉన్నావా లేదా కూడా అర్థం కావట్లేదు నాకు. ఫైనలీ ఉన్నావురా, గుడ్, రైట్. ఇక మనము హియర్ in this unbalanced Wheatstone bridge, how to find the effective resistance. Okay, method కొద్దిగా గుర్తు చేసుకున్నాను. Long back what we have discussed in capacitors. ఏం చేసాం ఐడియా ఉంది కదా? decreased the number of currents. 1, 2 and loop la directly the potential difference taken as Q by C. గుర్తుంది కదా between A and B. Yes. Delta V equals to final equation Q by C there. Here we have to take I into R. So total current I. Here we are taking. That I is treated like I1. Here not I2. గుర్తుందా నాన్న? We reduced the junction and not going to apply the junction law. I minus I1. Okay, this I name we write it as I1 and directly apply the junction law. I2 equals to I minus I1. Okay, and then here this is suppose I2. Ledu this is suppose I2. Then this one will be I1 minus I2. And again here we reduce the junction law. Okay. Out of I1, I2. So remaining current will be I1 minus I2. And I1 minus I2 joins here. I minus I1 comes to there. ఈ రెండు యాడ్ అవుతాయి నాన్న. So I1 I1 cancel. This is I minus I2. Okay. I minus I2, I2 join nana. And at this junction directly by adding these two, I minus I2 and I2 cancel, I will come out. First is splitting of current, follow here nana. Once you check. And that the splitting of currents. Sure? Why Navi? Oh, right, good. సో ఇది ఇక్కడ నుండి కొద్దిగా జాగ్రత్తగా హర్ష నాన్న ఓకేరా ఇక్కడ కొద్దిగా జాగ్రత్తగా నాన్న ఇక మనం ఇక్కడ స్టార్ట్ చేద్దాం ఈ బ్యాలెన్స్డ్ విస్టోన్ బ్రిడ్జ్ అన్బ్యాలెన్స్డ్ విస్టోన్ బ్రిడ్జ్ ఓకే మనకి కావాల్సింది 2 లూప్స్ నాన్న which 2 లూప్స్ మీకు తెలుసు అది ఓకే which 2 లూప్స్ ఫస్ట్ ఈ లూప్ ACDA అనదర్ దిస్ లూప్ CBDC 2 లూప్స్ అప్లై చేయాలి మనం ఓకే కమింగ్ టు లూప్ లా హియర్ ఫస్ట్ నాన్న A to C అంటే in ACDA keenly observe what I am going to write. A to C, that is minus I1 into 4. Here minus I1 minus I2 into 12. Here ఇది measuring in opposite direction. Opposite direction అంటే plus. Plus ఎంత అవుతుంది నాన్న ప్లస్ ప్లస్ I minus I1 into 2 is equal to 0. ఓకే ఇది నాన్న ఇక్కడ ఈక్వేషన్ కాస్త జాగ్రత్తగా చూడండి రైట్ దిస్ ఇస్ ఫర్ విచ్ లూప్ నాన్న ACDA ఓకే ఇక నెక్స్ట్ దీన్ని కొద్దిగా ఎక్స్పాండ్ చేద్దామా దట్ ఇంప్లైస్ మైనస్ I1 4I1 ఇక్కడ minus 12I1 plus 12I2 ఇక్కడ plus 2I minus 2I1 equals to 0. ఇక సరే కొద్దిగా సింప్లిఫై చేసుకుంటే దిస్ ఇస్ 2I is equals to మనకేమొస్తుంది నాన్న -4 -12 అంటే -16 -16 -2 అంటే 18I1 -12I. ఒకసారి చూడండి నాన్న మై ఈక్వేషన్ ఇస్ కరెక్ట్ ఆర్ రాంగ్ That implies I is equals correct kada. I equals to 2 9s అంటే 9i1 minus 2 6 6 అమ్మయ్య. దిస్ ఈస్ మై ఫస్ట్ ఈక్వేషన్ అంటే i1 i2 ఆర్ అన్నోన్స్. ఓకే, దోస్ i1 i2 we have to find in terms of i టర్మ్స్ లో ఫైండ్ అవుట్ చేయాలి మనం. ఓకే, దానికి సెకండ్ లూప్ కి వెళ్తున్నాం. అంటే 2 అన్నోన్స్ కింద కన్సిడర్ చేస్తే we require 2 ఈక్వేషన్స్. సెకండ్ లూప్ చూడండి అన్న. ఇన్ సిబి సిబిడిసి ఈ లూప్కి వెళ్తున్నాను. ఓకే, ఇంకా స్టార్ట్ చేద్దాం. సి టు బి అంటే ఇన్ ద డైరెక్షన్ ఆఫ్ కరెంట్ ఫ్లో. ఓకే, ఇన్ సిబిడిసి. ఓకే, సో చూడండి అన్న, మైనస్ i2 ఇంటూ 6 అయిపోయింది. ఇక్కడ ఏం లేదు, ఇక్కడ ఆపోజిట్ డైరెక్షన్. ఓకే, ఆపోజిట్ డైరెక్షన్ అంటే ప్లస్ i మైనస్ i2 ఇంటూ i ఇంటూ r is 4. నెక్స్ట్ again opposite direction. Opposite direction means plus. Here current is i1 minus i2 into the resistance is 12 and that's all is equal to 0. మళ్ళీ ఒకసారి చెక్ చేసుకోండి. దిస్ ఇస్ 4 minus 6i2 plus 4i minus 4i2 plus 12i1 minus 12i2 is equals to 0. Here that implies 4i is equals to i1 లో ఎన్ని ఉన్నాయిరా, ఒకటే ఉంది అంటే minus 12i1. సారీ, ఇక 6 plus 4 10 plus 12 22. So 22i2 and that implies I am getting 2 చొప్పున వెళ్తుంది కదా, ఇంకా అంతే, దట్స్ ఆల్. 2i is equals to I am getting how much, 11i2 minus 6i1. అమ్మయ్య, దిస్ ఈజ్ ఈక్వేషన్ 2. ఇప్పుడు ఈ రెండు సాల్వ్ చేయాలరా. కాస్త నా సాల్వ్ చేసి వాట్ ఆర్ ద వాల్యూస్ ఆఫ్ i1 అండ్ i2 చెప్పగలుగుతారు ఎవరైనా? కొద్ది ఫాస్ట్ గా ఫర్ యువర్ ప్రాక్టీస్. ఎవరన్నా స్టార్ట్ చేశారా? So by solving these two equations, finally, according to the answers, what you said, i2 is 8/21. It is finalized. Okay. And i1 is 23/63i. Okay. Good. So finally, we are concluding that i1 is 23/63i, i2 is 8/21i. Okay, after getting these two, Nana, now we require what is the effective resistance between A and B. Kada? Between A and B, total resistance, suppose I don't know, let it be some capital R. Then between A and B, total current is I, total resistance we are assuming it as R, so potential difference between A and B, delta V between A and B is equals to IR. That's what I am writing, IR. Okay. But that IR between A and B and you can select any path, me istam. A to B. And you can go like this, you can go like this, you can go like this, you can go like this. That is your wish. So from A to B, if you select one path, idaithe naaku comfortable ga undi. Just seeing simple terms I1, I2, 4, 6. So if I measure the potential difference between A and B in that path, okay, top path. I'm going to top path now. There, I'm writing like this. That equals to, again, potential difference. Okay. I did not put negative sign nana. In the direction of current flow, I have to put minus color. So minus IR is equals to, but in the same, in the direction of current flow, A to B, that is minus I1 into 4. Okay. In the same direction of current flow, that is minus I2 into 6. And then, okay, to substitute I1 at I2, I asked you how much you got. Okay, you already said I1 is this much, I2 is that much. And here, next what I'm going to write, that implies minus IR, minus cancelled. So IR is equals to here plus I1, 4 I1. I1 is 23 by 63 times I. Okay. Plus negative sign already cancelled now. So plus I2. I2 is 8 by 21 times I into R is 6 here. Okay. It is appeared like 61. This is 6. Okay, Nana? So into 6. Ipindra, that implies I cancel both sides. So R is equals to LCM 63. 4 into 23. Yeah. 4 into 23 plus 21 3s are 3 8s are 24. 24 into 6. E multiplication that you have to say. Finally, 92 plus 144 divided by 63. And easy to 236 exactly. 236 by 63. 236 by 63 volts. Intenana. Okay. This is the way how to find the resistance of unbalanced V-stone bridge. Follow Yara? Yara? Any doubt? Yes. Okay. Idi by using the Kirchhoff's laws, how to find the effective resistance in the unbalanced V-stone bridge. Okay. దీని మీద మనం వెళ్ళిపోతున్నాం deep into the subject. ఓకే, ఇక సర్క్యూట్స్ రేపటి నుండి స్టార్ట్ అయిపోతాయి మనకి. ఓకే, రేపు క్లాస్ అంతా హాట్ గా ఉంటుంది మనకి. సర్క్యూట్ సాల్వ్ చేస్తాం కాబట్టి వి గెట్ స్మోక్స్ ఫ్రమ్ ద హెడ్. ఓకే, పైనుంచి పొగలు వచ్చేస్తుంటాయి మనకు. వి ట్రై టు సాల్వ్ దెమ్. ఓకేనా? సో ఈరోజు క్లాస్ ఇక్కడతో స్టాప్ చేద్దాం నాన్న. ఎస్.